Good morning and welcome to another day of class. We have been talking about factoring. We have looked at factoring using the greatest common factor. Today we're going to look at a different type or another type of factoring, and this involves factoring trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. All right. A represents the coefficient of x squared. A is the number in front of x squared. B is the coefficient of x. B is the number that's in front of x. C is your constant. It is the number that has no variable attached to it. All right, so in order to start this, let us look at an example. Our first example today looks like x squared plus 13x plus 36. And I want you to factor this thing. Now, there are several ways to factor. The way that I'm going to show you is a more direct approach, and it will always work if the trinomial is factorable. All right, trinomial, that means a polynomial that has three terms. All right, first of all, I need you to tell me the values of a, b, and c. A is the coefficient of x squared. B is the coefficient of x. C is your constant. A here, there is no number listed there, so it is understood that A is 1. B, the coefficient of x, is 13. C, our constant, is 36. Now, the method that I'm going to show you is what we call the AC method. This is the AC method. So, it's AC because the first thing you have to do is find the product of A and C. Multiply A and C together. A here is 1. C here is 36. When we multiply these two things together, notice we get 36. 36 then becomes what I call our target number. So we're going to look closely at this number 36. How does it work? And I'm glad you asked. Let us create a table that involves the number 36. Let's look at factors of 36. All right. Two numbers that multiply to give you 36. Let's list some of the factors. 1 and 36. Let's see. Ooh, negative 1, negative 36. 2, 18. Negative 2, negative 18. Let's see, do we have any more? 3 and 12. Negative 3, negative 12. 4 and 9. Negative 4, negative 9. Let's see, are there any other factors of 36? 6 and 6. Negative 6, negative 6. These are all factors of the 36. All right, now let's do something else. Let's also look at the sum of the factors. Sum means addition. So let's take the factor pairs and add them together and see what we get. 1 plus 36, that gives us 37. Negative 1 plus negative 36 gives us negative 37. 2 plus 18 gives us 20. Negative 2 and negative 18 is negative 20. 3 and 12 is 15. Negative 3 and negative 12 is negative 15. 4 and 9 is 13. Negative 4 and negative 9 is negative 13. 6 and 6 is 12. Negative 6 and negative 6 is negative 12. Now, as you do more and more of these types of problems, you will find that you don't have to do all of this, but we did all of this to find a certain number. Now, let's recap. We got the 36 from multiplying A and C together. Now, notice, we have not dealt at all with B. Now, let's ask the question, what was B? B was 13. Now, which pair of factors add together to give you the value of b. b is 13. Let's see which pair of factors add to give us the 13. Ooh, there's the 13. The pair of factors that were multiplied to give you 36 that added to give you the 13 were the 4 and the 9. So what we're going to do now is rewrite b using 4 and 9. We're going to rewrite our expression, but instead of writing the 13, we're going to replace the 13 with the 4 and the 9. So let's look back at the problem. The problem read something that looked like this. X squared plus 13x plus 36. Notice b we said was the positive 13. We're going to replace the 13 using the 4 and the 9. So let's do that. Ooh, stop. 13 is attached to the x. So when we replace it using the 4 and the 9, they should also have x's with them. Now, the order that you list the 4 and the 9 does not matter. So I'm going to choose to write the 4 first. You can write the 4 first or the 9 first. It doesn't matter. So we have replaced the 13x with 4x and the 9x. We have dropped down the x squared and the 36. That is a 3, by the way. All right. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to factor by grouping. Let's group the first two together, and then we will group the last two together. All right. Looking only at the first two terms, what is the greatest common factor for x squared and 4x? Well, let's look first. We have coefficients of 1 and 4. So the largest number that can go into 1 and 4 is just 1. All right, just for argument purposes. Notice they both contain a factor of x. This one has 2 factors of x. This one has 1 factor of x. They only have 1 factor of x in common. So 1x or x would be our greatest common factor for these two. Now let's see what's left. X squared divided by x leaves us with x. 4x divided by x leaves us with 4. We can check it to make sure that this is right by using the distributive property. 1x, or just x, times x gives us x squared. X times 4 gives us a 4x. Good. Now let's do the same thing over here. Looking at the last two items here, what do they have in common? The greatest common factor for 9x and 36 is our 9. 9 is the largest number that goes into 9x and into the 36. So now let's divide each term by the greatest common factor. 9x divided by 9 leaves us with x. 36 divided by 9 leaves us with 4. All right, now stop for a minute. When you get to this point, always the stuff in the parentheses should be the same. All right, now take a closer look. We have one big term and we have another big term. Look over here, look over there, look left, look right. What do you see over here that you also see over here? Notice it is the x plus 4. It is common to both terms. So, since it is a common factor, let's put it out front. Now, if we remove x plus 4 from this first term, look at what's left. Likewise, if you remove x plus 4 from the second term, look at what's left. So your second factor will be the leftover stuff. The x that was in front of the first parentheses and the plus 9 which was in front of the second parentheses. So our last factor then is x plus 9. Now, the process that we've done with going through all of this, looking at the values of a, b, and c, doing a times c, looking at factors of that target number to find the value of b, all of this works every time. Now, there is a special situation that goes on when A is 1. When A is 1, now this only works if A is 1. Listen to this. If A is 1, whatever the factors were that added to give you B was in your answer. Notice 4 and 9 were the factors of 36 that added to give you 13. 4 and 9 should be in your answer. Look at that, 4 and the 9. All right? Now, that's a cheap trick that only works if A is 1. If A is not 1, you will have to do all of what we did here using the AC method. The AC method always works. All right, let's do some work then. Thank you.